Hey, what's up everybody? Jason here. Today on Money, Success, and Happiness, we're going to be going over 5 ETFs, exchange trade funds. And if you're not too familiar with an exchange trade fund, what it is it's basically a basket of different holdings, different assets that make up like one portfolio, one stock that you can buy. So it can be anywhere from 20 or 30 all the way to thousands of stocks, and each one has a percentage. So you might have your top holding might have 10%, then the next one might have 8%, the next one might have 7%, next one might have 5%, and so forth, all the way down to your smallest percentage of your stock. Depending on how many stocks you have in the ETF will depend on the size of each stock. Usually most people are concerned with the top 10 holdings, so that's what we're going to be going over today, because those usually hold the most weight in the portfolio. So an ETF is just basically like a mutual fund. It's like a bunch of stocks pulled together, and it's under one ticker symbol, so you can just buy the whole basket at once. And a lot of people like this for different reasons. One thing is it's convenient and easy. A lot of people don't want to go through the time of trying to search around for stocks and research companies, so they rather just have somebody that's an expert in these things just do it for them. And a lot of these funds are actively managed, so they're rebalanced all the time, so you got a professional in charge of your portfolio, which a lot of people feel more comfortable that way. And then another reason is some of the stocks can be very expensive. Like I just mentioned, Tesla, it's like $1,000 stock. You might not have $1,000. You might want to buy a bunch of companies, but you only have $500 to start or something, or you have you want to buy a couple of shares, and you might be able to get one of these ETFs that has Tesla in it, but it might be only $50, $100 a share of that ETF, so that way you can buy several, or you don't have to put all your money into Tesla. Some brokerages do have fractional sharing. A lot of them do now, but a lot of them don't still. So ETFs, and that's another way to go. Mostly it's just for convenience. So I think a lot of people do it just for convenience, and it's just easy and it's clean. You just have you don't have to have a million stocks in your portfolio trying to search, see what's what. You can just have one real clean ETF, or maybe several ETFs, and you can cover a really broad area of the market. Okay, so today we're going to be going over the 5 top performer stocks. 5 top performing ETFs of this year. Okay, we're talking the cream of the crop. We're going to hit the biggest ETFs this year that are outperforming all the other ETFs. Okay, so we're going to be using Yahoo Finance today. So let me go to Yahoo Finance. Okay, and the first one on our list is ticker symbol ARKG. ARKG. Now what ARKG is it's an ETF that is all genomes. Okay, it's called the ARK Genomic Revolution. Genomes is genes, your genes, your chromosomes. Basically, it's like laboratories working on gene projects and biotech projects to engineer different genes and gene therapies for humans, basically. And this is really important right now, because obviously we know we're going through a big crisis right now with the illness and everything. So a lot of these companies are making money right now, because a lot of them are trying to come up with ways to fix the problems right now with all the illness going on. So a lot of money's being pumped in to these different companies, so their stock prices are going up. So this one's really hot right now. You can see it's currently at $52.16. Okay, and it hasn't been around long enough, but in 1 year you can see. Okay, and this is some of the key statistics. And the most important part on here is you can see the year-to-date return is 38.03%. Okay, and now that's really good. Okay, that's almost a 40% return on your money. So, if you put in $10,000 at the beginning of the year, and you looked at your account now, you'd have $14,000 almost. So, that's easy money right there. And the expense ratio is quite high on this one. The ARK ETFs are kind of high always. They're usually it's 0.75, which is really high. But if you're making 40%, you might not really care about that as much because you're making a heck of a return from your money every year. Okay, and you can see it's fairly new. Its inception was 2014. And then you have the ask and the bid, the volume, 52-week high, 52-week low, and average volume, stuff like that. I mean, the most important part is this return. And let's check out some of the holdings. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know these companies very well because a lot of these are like smaller. They're not really small. They're probably in the they're probably worth a few billion, but they're smaller companies that I've never really heard of, and this really isn't my specialty. But here's some of the different companies. This is the top 10 holdings. It's like I was telling you. See, that one has 9.38%. That one has 8.161. That one has 7.99, and so on. Okay, you might have heard some of these companies. I think I've seen the name of a couple of them. So, okay, that one's the top. Now let's go to the second one. So now we got, gene therapy is very important. Now what would be the next thing that's really hot right now? So the next thing that's really hot right now is WCLD. And this is Wisdom Tree's Cloud Computing ETF. So this ETF is built for all the companies that are associated with cloud technology for computers, because everybody knows everything's going to the cloud right now, and all these companies are making a lot of money because everybody's at home right now. Everybody has to do everything from home, pay all their bills, work, go to school, communicate with family and friends. Everything is online right now. So if everything's online, there has to be a lot of companies that have to make sure that all this stuff works correctly and is secure. So a lot of these smaller companies are, that have, really good technology are coming up, and their stocks are booming right now. So let's see, year to date, this one made 37.81% year to date. So basically another 40% stock. So in a year's time, 40% on your return. Okay? And the expense portfolio on this, the expense ratio on this is 0.45. So this one's a little bit lower than the other one. This isn't an ARK. This is from Wisdom Tree. So Wisdom Tree has a little bit lower prices. That's usually what most of them are. I'd say around 0.45. That's on like the medium range. Okay, this is fairly new. Look, the inception date is only 2019. And let's see some of the holdings in here. Now these I'm more familiar with. Fastly, that's a tech company. These are all tech companies. ZS, Zoom. Everybody's been using Zoom. Wix, Twilio, DocuSign, Datadog, 2U, Okta, Shopify. I actually own a lot of these in my portfolio, about half of them. A lot of these are like the technology. It's kind of advanced. I've researched a lot of these different companies, and a lot of them, they're basically what they do is they're like on the back end of a lot of the big names we use to do stuff every day. Well, they do a lot of stuff on the back end, from anywhere from like, let's say, the instant message when you get something at the pharmacy and you get an instant message, to like making sure, when you fill out a password it's secure, to linking up companies with linguistics, like warehouse, like all kinds of just little things like that. It's just like a bunch of little stuff, and there's a bunch of these companies. This is only the top 10. There's I don't know exactly how many holdings are in this one, but anyways, there's probably a lot more than this in this. There's probably at least 50 or so. I think there's around 50 in this ETF. But there's all kinds of little weird things. But all these stocks are like real hot right now. So all you really have to know is they're tech stocks and they're popular. Fastly is really hot right now. I think today it went up like 8%, which is like out of control. I actually bought it not too long ago, and I've already made a pretty good return on it. A lot of these, you look at their charts, and I mean, it's literally like straight up like a rocket. So, anyways, okay. Now let's go to the third one, and that's going to be ARKW, another ARK. These ARKs are hot right now. These ARKs they're very like ahead of everybody. This is a lot of like disruptive technology, that's like it's called next generation. There you go, right there. So next generation internet. Okay. Now this one year to date is 30.39. Not as high as the other two, but still pretty darn high. That's a pretty good return. That's definitely, you're beating the market with that. 2014, they're a little bit older. I mean, they're not too old, but they're older than the Wisdom Tree one. And it's got a 0.76 expenditure, which, I mean, like I told you, the other one, they're usually around 0.75. But they make good returns every year. Okay, and let's see what the holdings are in this one. The first one you got is Tesla. Everybody knows Tesla. Tesla's coming out with all kinds of new stuff right now. So Tesla's always like, every day there's like new news about Tesla. Square, that's a payment company. Roku, that's like an online streaming. I mean, these, like I said, Zillow, I know that's real estate. Splunk, I'd have to look that one up again. Lending Tree, I think that's something to do with insurance or something, or mortgages. I mean, like I said, this is all tech stuff. You'll have to do some of the research yourself. There's so many of these tech stocks. I mean, unless you like work in these companies, I mean, it's hard to really know like every single detail about everyone. But like I said, I've researched a lot of them, and like I said, basically all of them, what they do is they basically just are like all the little nuts and bolts when it comes to computing. All the little things that we do. Everybody knows the big companies like Google and Apple and stuff like that, but there's a lot of little programs behind the scenes. It's kind of like when there's like a movie or a play or something. You see the actors and the play and everything looks good, but behind the scenes there's like a million people doing makeup and the stage and pulling the curtains and all that stuff. That's what a lot of these companies do. They're all behind the scenes, just making sure everything runs correctly. Okay, that's 3 of them. We got 2 more to go, and the next one is OGIG. Okay, OGIG is I think it's screwed up right here. The global internet. It's the guy on Shark Tank. What's his name? The bald guy on Shark Tank. Kevin OLeary, I think his name. He's the one that actually, this is his ETF. Everybody knows he's a billionaire, a real smart guy. Great business, everything in business. So if you trust that guy, then you can trust this ETF. And it's made great returns. Look at this, almost 30%, 29.58, expenditure 0.48, a little bit cheaper than the ARKs, and it's almost brand new. It's 2018, and let's see what's in it. Amazon, you can't go wrong with Amazon. Alphabet, which is Google, that's the second one. Microsoft, Alibaba, that's a Chinese company. It's kind of like an Amazon in China. Tencent is a social media company, and they're also in China, but they own all kinds of stuff. They own a lot of video games too. They have actual shares in a lot of the big companies. All the other video game companies, they have shares in them. Plus, they own Riot Games, which makes like Fortnite and stuff. And you got Facebook, which is in a little hot water right now, but today actually recovered quite a bit. Wayfair, there's Shopify again. Some of these two of these I don't know, but I own about 7 of these out of these. But anyways, so Shopify is like online web stores that you can create. It's out of Canada. But yeah, this is a really good fund, and it's made 30% for the year. Okay, and last but not least, let's go to the last one, and that's Hero. This is the Global X Video Game ETF. We're just talking about video games. Well, this is an actual portfolio full of video game stocks. Okay. This one made almost 25% for the year. 0.50 expense ratio. And let's see what's in it. Okay. So as I'm looking at it right now, it's actually not just video game companies. It's actually companies that make computer parts too, like Nvidia and Nexon. But a lot of these are like Activision Blizzard. You got Electronic Arts, Nintendo. Zynga makes a lot of platform games. It made like Farmville, and Words with Friends. They haven't really did anything lately though, but the stock is still selling. Take-Two is a software company. But yeah, so I guess it's not just video game companies. It's anything to do with the video game industry, which is cool. So, but 25%, and video games are hot right now. Everybody's home. I play video games all the time. Anytime I've got a second, I'm playing a video game. So, and if I'm doing it, pretty much everybody else is doing it. And pretty much everybody that I live around, they're all telling me all the time, oh yeah, I'm always, they have a whole setup in their house. And so video games are hot, and it's not just for kids. Adults, I think more adults play video games now than kids do, So, just because they're so advanced now. So that's the top 5, and basically, I'll be honest with you, if you guys just put those 5 in your portfolio and just let it ride, you're gonna make a lot of money, because this is all hot stuff right now, and this is stuff that's not going out of style anytime soon. So genetics, video games, cloud computing, all that. All that stuff. Like that one Tesla, Amazon. Those are all like super hot right now. And the market's real volatile right now, but it doesn't matter. Still in the long run they go up. And all these companies are kind of like Rona proof. Because all this stuff is basically for home. It's either stuff for like necessities or home. So. I don't think you can really lose with all these. So, yeah, give it a go. If you don't feel like picking a bunch of stocks and everything, just slap these in your portfolio and just forget about it, man. And every couple months or whatever, look at it, and you'll be amazed how much money you'll make. So that's it for today. Hope that helped you guys out if you're kind of confused on what to buy or what ETFs are hot right now. So there you go. Thanks a lot. Bye.